Hello, everyone, and welcome to International Online Discussion. Today, we're going to explore the issues that were raised through the forum, as well as our impressions and the importance about this event, Global Crisis Where People We Want to Live, that happened on May 7th, 2022. It's unprecedented event, and topics that were raised on it really concern everyone. And today, we're going to have our guests here with us, people who actually put their best efforts to let you know about the issues that will definitely affect your life and already do. So today, our dear guest is Branka Basta from Croatia, a social worker and also interpreter of the forum Global Crisis, Where People We Want to Live, into Croatian language. Welcome,
Hello.
Branka.
Hello. Nice to be here.
It's our pleasure to have you here with us. And Sparsh Sumani from India, CEO of ALAGS News and our official information partner of the forum Global Crisis, Where People We Want to Live. Welcome, Sparsh. And my dear co-host today is Marina. And welcome, Marina. And the first question we would like to ask our guests, and let me start with Branka. Could you please share your thoughts and feedback about participating in the forum?
I've been participating in Creative Society for about a year now, and we've been sharing information about all the different issues that are here present in consumer society. But I can say that this forum, which was held on 7th of May, was like I'm thinking, what else can be present to people in order to picture the current format we're living in, even the problems that we are facing every day, the crisis in every area of human life. So I think this was like a great presentation of all the information concerning whether climate changes, slavery, human trafficking, refugees, wars, hunger, water shortages, and most of all, and all the other issues that were presented. It's like 11 hours of material. It's really hard to present all the issues present, but all of them showed us there's an issue, there's a problem, but we didn't end at that. We also offered the solution, and this is like a bright thing. We're not here to criticize, only to notice stuff that aren't working, and we'll stop with that. No, we are offering solution. This is like something totally realistic, something totally manageable, and it's totally up to us. It doesn't depend on some influence from outside, someone else. It's our choice, our actions that can help us, not help us, that can build the creative society. And that's the only thing that can actually solve all these issues. And it won't be in an instant, but some of the issues will be instantly also solved, like hunger or accommodation or stuff like that. But climate change as like the biggest issue and something that's over our heads, it takes time, it takes much more effort, but those conditions in order to deal with the climate issues are only possible and will only be possible in creative society.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Branka, for your overview and for your feedback. It's really like 11 hours. It's impressive. And the information is very hard to underestimate, because during the conference, during the forum, people not only presented the problem that we face in our society, but also gave a solution, which is very, very important to understand and to learn how it works. So many specialists were giving their professional opinion about that creative society is possible and how we can implement it right now. And it's very, very, very important to learn for every single person. And I also would like to ask Sparsh, why it is so important, why do you think it's so important to raise such a topics that were presented in the forum? And I know that you were our informational partner. You support Creative Society Project and you support all the conferences that we held. So I wonder why you decided to support.
Definitely. So I feel myself deeply connected with the Creative Society. And our journey began when I approached Miss Olga for an interview at ALAGS News. And the way she told us about what the Creative Society is, its foundations and aims, and how to proceed with it, I felt that this is something which is so genuine, and it is the need of the hour. Because I have been talking to a lot of people, a lot of young people, and one thing that I have seen myself is that there are a lot of people who are talking about these modern issues, or to gain some kind of social entitlement, or to act like cool, that yes, they are aware about all the modern problems. But the thing that they do not care about is the solutions. And that is something which is so different here at Creative Society. All the conferences, the forums are solution-oriented. And it is not just we criticize about the problems, but we actually talk about the solutions and make things, try to make things different and correct. And that is why I felt that, yes, I can do my best from the ALAGS organization to support the Creative Society. Because we don't know if we are the next victim. Climate change can knock my door in the next. And, I cannot just always feel that it will never happen with me. It is a common universal problem, and we all need to be together to treat this. We cannot just wait for others, and we cannot just be sitting and, watch others die. No, it's not ideal, and we should make some difference. That's why we decided to, do our best and support the Creative Society. Thank you.
Thank you, Sparsh. I completely agree with you. The amount of problems we're seeing today is tremendous, and these challenges, they're actually happening all over the planet, and similar challenges. If today there was one kind of natural disaster in one part of our world, then tomorrow it's going to be something different somewhere else. But the way we have to solve it is only by working together, cooperating. And this means to grow up, to start taking personal responsibility and demand this change, kind of like you do, like what Branka does. This means growing up, and we have to do it as a society all together. Because what we see today, we also showed, right? Like Branka said, we showed the solution part, but we also showed where we are today. Today, we have tremendous amount of organizations that's supposed to be working on solving problems, but instead of that, they're perfectly showing what should not be done, how not to do. The consumerist format of the society, where these organizations consuming our resources, our time, and just multiplying the system that does not work. And for those of our viewers who just joined us or maybe have not had the chance to see the conference, I would like us all to watch these short clips about how actually international funds work and that's supposed to be solving problems. I think that's going to give us a little bit more clarity about why the problems are not being solved around the world.
Perhaps you may think it will never happen to you. While those people have been given all the help they needed and they are now safe. And indeed, there is now a huge number of organizations and foundations dedicated to helping people. The largest of them, the United Nations, is positioning itself as the guarantor of peace and security of humankind. For decades, we have been hearing beautiful slogans and promises from high rostrums. If you listen to these loud statements, it may seem that we will solve all our problems. There will be no more poverty, no more hunger, no more wars, and we will all live well. After all, there are over 100 international organizations working under the aegis of the United Nations to solve the world's problems. For every new problem, a new organization is created. Every year, UN member states pay huge contributions to these organizations. In fact, this is money from our pockets. These are the taxes we pay to the state. Between 2010 and 2020, according to official data, the 44 UN organizations alone raised $540.4 billion. Contributions to the UN organizations have increased by 58% over 10 years. But let's take a look at what we have achieved over this period of time. The largest amount of money today goes to solving the problem of hunger. The main UN organizations to tackle this problem are the World Food Program, WFP, and the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. They have raised $79.8 billion over the last 10 years. Current estimates are that almost 690 million people are hungry in the world and 750 million people are severely food insecure. The Food and Agriculture Organization itself predicts an even greater increase in hunger by 2030, 841 million people. So, the World Food Program is projecting funding needs for 2022 already at $13.9 billion. So they say, there will be more hungry people, so they need more money. It is a legitimate question. How is it that, with ever-increasing funding, the problem itself is only becoming worse? Let's look at another problem, the refugee problem. The number of refugees has doubled over the past 10 years, comprising 82.4 million in 2020. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, deals with refugee issues. Over the past 10 years, funding for the organization has increased by 56%, reaching $4.8 billion in 2020. Let's look at what kind of help they provide to people. One area of refugee assistance is shelter. On their website, they state, "The main part of our protection mission is to guarantee access to proper shelter in humanitarian emergencies. We provide tents, distribute plastic sheeting, and develop strategies, tools, and guidance in emergency situations, and provide emergency assistance to those who need it most. On cold nights or hot days, our help can be the deciding factor between life and death. In an emergency, tarpaulin tents are an adequate short-term measure, but people live in such tent camps for years in inhumane conditions with no hope of the future. Due to the lack of even basic sanitation conditions, people die of infectious diseases. Who benefits from the problem not being solved? As long as there is a problem, there is funding. And if the problem is solved, there will be no funding and therefore no organizations. As long as there is a financial interest, as long as someone makes money from it, no one will solve the problem. The UN itself is very much like a transnational corporation in its structure. There is a parent company that coordinates and manages the activities of its other companies, but each brand is a separate business entity. In 2020, more than $3.7 billion was spent to maintain the UN bureaucracy on staff and director salaries, health insurance, holidays, business class flights, and other expenses. The planned expenditures for the renovation of the Palace of Nations alone in Switzerland, where the UN headquarters is located, is $871 million. With this money, 174,000 houses could be built using 3D printing technology. How many refugee families could benefit from this housing? But alas, building homes for those in need is not a priority for their aid. What do we have in the end? Numerous organizations that we have entrusted with the responsibility of solving serious problems of humanity turn out, on closer examination, to be merely business structures. It becomes obvious that there is a direct interest in the growth and aggravation of problems. In other words, it is beneficial for someone that people starve, struggle to survive, and make wars with each other. And that is the cynicism of the consumerist format of society. Creating the illusion of solving a problem without the real goal of eradicating it is a principle of the consumerist format. Under such conditions, it is tantamount to anesthesia for a fatal illness. And even closing or reforming some organizations or firing some individuals will not save the situation, because new ones will come in their place and do the same thing, making money off our lives. Today, because of our tacit support for the consumerist format, we are all on the precipice. The rapid escalation of all crises will soon bring us all, without exception, to the brink of disaster. What kind of help will we get? A piece of tarpaulin for shelter and a couple of bottles of water?
Every day when we watch the news, we hear very alarming messages like new global crisis, economical crisis, new pandemic, new war. And we still get used to these alarming messages. So because every day we hear it, we read about that. And on one day, like we become like immune to these terrible things that evading us. So if like we are not care about our future, definitely we are not caring about the reality of the people that are facing terrible circumstances in their life already. And as we can see, the number of refugees only increasing every day. Doesn't matter if it's a climate refugee or it's a war refugee, the number is still increasing exponentially. And this problem is not solved. People are left alone with their problem. And as we can see, the organization or foundation do not solve the problem at all, simply because refugee is a very profitable business. And nobody would like to solve it because they are making money on this. It sounds very, very terrible, but it's true. And Sparsh, I have a question. What do you think we can do to solve this problem once and for all? And why do you think we have this problem at all?
Right. One of the major issues is that the wealth and the value of person is counted in terms of money. And that is the main modus operandi of the consumerist society, which is completely unethical. The way we are proceeding, we are just counting notes which are depreciating in their value. And we are just then trying out ways to reduce the demand. I mean, this is completely immoral, and we have to try and take very important measures. Now, one thing that I want to say, it's not that we are against the United Nations, but the problem is that the point is that we are against corruption. We are against the problems, and we want them to be solved. We want nations to unite. Yes, that's absolutely correct. But they should unite to solve problems instead of making money and increasing the problems. We need a very clear goals to go ahead with. And I believe that young people need to come up together. It's not that there would be a kind of, we want people to coexist together, different generations. The old people who have seen changing worlds, technological advancements must be there to provide guidance, and there should be young people to work. And I feel that these young people these refugees are a great asset in these days of aging population. Be it we talk about countries like Germany, we talk about Italy. These people, these countries are providing, they are attracting people by providing free education, great scholarships. I think these scholarships should be more inclined towards refugees, those who actually need them, not those with some wealthy families with lots and lots of money under their bed. We want good education, great, environment for them to grow and help the whole world together. It's not that our country will benefit or their country will benefit. We need to be together in this. We need to unite and solve common problems, and things and services like education and housing and proper food and sanitation must be there for them to grow.
Sparsh, thank you so much for noticing this, because that's exactly what I was thinking when I was watching the video. I was like, take a look at this. We have so many organizations fighting these problems, but none of the problems is actually being solved. And this is like so much became normal that we have organizations constantly fighting things and never solve anything, that at some point we as a society will start thinking it's normal. Oh yeah, these people fighting that problem, that organization fighting this problem. And each year, nothing gets solved, but organizations getting bigger, budgets getting bigger. And we'll also hear, oh, they did this conference here, they did another conference there, so many people flew in there on their jets, stayed in fancy hotels. And then when we're watching how much money they spend on this, we start noticing that sometimes it's like 1/3 of their budget goes on just like, salaries, fancy resorts, hotels, meetings, eating super nice food in there, fancy restaurants. But who cares about solving problem? Because if these people solve the problems, they're gonna lose their jobs. So you say this is consumerism when organizations are not interested in solving problems because it means shortening their budgets. And this is where it comes to value of human life. These organizations consist of people, and we should provide the system in which they would be interested to solve the problem. Because today they're not. They're interested in problem keep existing because that's the way of surviving for these people. So how do we change it? And this is when Branka actually started today from the words that creative society is offering a real solution. And I would like to hear from you, please, if you could explain us what does it actually mean? What is the solution?
Well, this real solution, I would connect it somehow with the video we just watched and stuff that were said. From the line work I do, I'm a social worker. I see many of these organizations and what are they doing. I see in everyday contact, I'm not highly positioned. I see people with genuine aim to help other people. But those are people who are not making any decisions. Those are people who are never asked for any opinions. Those are people who are not in a position to make any change, to implement any initiative. And we know why is that, because someone else on the top of it is making all the decisions and is creating politics, and stuff are going downhills all the time. And we see people are not getting help in any way. And still, even if they got food, if they got decent housing, still they're war refugees or climate refugees. So the main issue, why are they refugees, is not solved. And that's the issue of consumer format. Well, on the other hand, creative society, and we can see the small things like small projects, mini projects of creative society already happening, because people do want to live in different manner. People do see that things aren't working this way. They're displeased. They want to make changes, but there are too many obstacles to make a significant change. But in everyday situations, they tend to gather around to find solutions. In the building I live, we try to find the way how to solve the issues we're facing. In family, we try to solve the issues we're facing. In work, everywhere. Here in creative society, we can see like the best possible way how people can unite and how they are helping each other. And I don't know you really. I see you, but I don't know you. But every time I reach out, I need any kind of help in everything, whatever we are doing, I get it. And people offer you help, even if you didn't ask for it. Maybe you were shy or something like that, but they're here, they're offering, there's no copyright, there's no like claims, there's no, I don't know what obstructities of consumer format happening. Whatever you need, you can have if it's possible, if it's in our within our possibilities, yes, but people are trying to reach out to each other in order to achieve the common goal, and that's the main thing. We have a common goal. We do each one of us wants to build creative society, and we know that we have to do all this stuff together. So we can do it, not whatever it takes, what we want to do, what we can do, the way we can help and give our contribution in order to achieve it. And it's really something inspiring. It's something that pushes you outside your limits. You're willing to make time, give your time, give your resources, whatever it takes in order to help to bring that change up.
I'd like to add a little bit. So one of the major problems is, if you talk about the big organizations, they assign themselves as intergovernmental organization. One thing that we must think together is that, are these organizations really representing us? Why is it that the countries are uniting? Why not we people unite? Are they actually representing us ourselves? It's just government and bureaucracy and all those bureaucrats sitting together and trying to make money. Why it's not that people, as Ms. Branka said, that we people are ready to help each other, but our government's ready to help each other. If they are not, then they are not truly representing what we feel and what we want.
This is absolutely true. I have to step in. This is totally true. They're not representing us. They're not representing our needs. They're not representing our aims. And they're not doing, if they are doing any job, they're doing a very lousy job, because this is not the world we all want to live in, definitely.
Thank you, friends. We definitely all would like to live in a better world, and we understand right now very clearly that it's up to us. So we cannot no longer shift the responsibilities to somebody else's shoulder and hoping and dreaming that this person will fix that. No, that will not happen, and we see it's already very, very clearly. So we definitely need to stand up. We need to act. We need to spread the information about the threat that we live in and the solution, the creative society, that the new model of a society in which every single person can have a decent life, where we will forget about all the wars, miseries, pandemics, and all terrible stuff that are now reality, unfortunately. So, and there are so many people who already understand that idea and who already act in order to make that creative society our reality now. So I would like to invite to watch short video clip about international discussion.
Do you know that people stopped being silent? International discussions.
The truth is that when it comes to migrations and refugees, it is a business.
I saw the market where the children selling out openly 4 days, we were facing the sniper shot us and the bullets above our heads.
If we do not address such issues like human trafficking, tomorrow it could be you, tomorrow it could be me.
Politics is driving the science, not the science driving the politics.
Many people want us to stop to talk, but I said no. This reality can affect and can take your life anytime.
People are losing everything.
$270 trillion.
Where is the money? And where is the result?
This 12,068-year cycle is a clock cycle.
All these problems that we're facing right now, you cannot tackle alone.
Thank goodness we have the creative society
to choose human life over currency.
We're living in one big home, and if this big family fighting with each other, destroy walls of the home, tomorrow we will find ourselves in the streets without a roof, without the families.
From every corner, we can actually hear that it is not economically beneficial. But the question is, economically, it is not beneficial for whom? Isn't beneficial for us people to save our own lives?
We need to bring together all of the intellect, all to the science, all of the people that can actually do something.
I think that the members of creative society are the new and real superheroes.
These people already understand that we should urgently act. Do you want to become part of changes? Take action. Don't be silent. You are invited to the new season of international discussions. Watch the forum, Global Crisis. We are people. We want to live. Changes begin from you.
Yes, friends. You are actually heroes. And Marina, let me just, before I let you speak, say that, for example, Branka was translating with her team, which is amazing, many people there. But we also have countries in which only one interpreter was doing the job for 15 hours. And I'm not saying job like in sense somebody get paid for it. People were just doing it to let people know the vital information that's going to help us to survive. And this is what being a hero means today, when they do it not for the money, not for the profit, but for the life of other people. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing that up. It's true, there are so many people who definitely were forgetting about their own and we're acting for the benefits of a humanity. And they are a true hero. Absolutely, I absolutely agree with you. And right now we have a huge task in front of us. In order to build a creative society, we need to inform every single person about the possibility of building this new format. And I would like to ask you, Branka, how will you explain what creative society is and how it benefits every single person on earth to somebody who never heard about this project?
Well, we should try to start from agreeing on the things that things aren't working. We aren't pleased with the format we're living in. And this takes, and this literally means we have to do something in order to change it. And why to change it in creative society? Well, at first, my comprehension of creative society was like narrow and it's widening. And I'm not sure if I got it all together and correctly, but this is a society that we are about to build. This is not something done deal. We just have to press the button and here it is. There's a basic script, and script are the foundations, 8 foundations of creative society. And if you come from the point of the first one, and that's the value of human life, if you come to if you understand that human itself, it's in the center of this society, that everything concerning human is most important. There's nothing more important than human. Then if you come and start building everything around it, from that starting point, it all has to be good. It can't be bad or wrong. If you're there to satisfy basic needs, and if you're there to give a person opportunity to self-evolve in every way he wants to work as much as he wants, to do whatever he wants, not whatever, whatever fulfills him. And if you start from that point, that everything concerning human, me, you, everyone around us, then that's something that's promising. That's not, we're not occupied about some group of people. Some group of people are important, and we're doing everything in order for them to be wealthy, to be healthy, to be good, to be rich. No, we are trying to make a society that will help us, every one of us, to have whatever we need. And we know what are basic needs, and we know what are those self-evolving needs that are coming later on.
Yes, Branka, and not only that we have these needs, but today we also showing how much resources we have to satisfy these needs, that basically technologies even allow us today live much better as a whole society, but only if we realize we are one. Because, for example, we showed at the previous conferences what tremendous amount of wealth is being generated by robotization, by automation, by artificial intelligence in mass production of goods. And basically we have everything necessary to satisfy everyone's needs. But that's not the priority. Satisfying human needs and creating decent level of life is not the priority. Somehow we let the society prioritize generating profit for a few. And the system is not working, and it's not even benefiting those few, because there is no feeling of safety. There is no security for anyone. And it doesn't matter what your level of wealth, income, consumption, when something terrible happens, when natural disaster occurs, or even more military conflicts, it doesn't matter what's your level of consumption or what's your spot in the Forbes magazine. It affects everyone the same way. That's why building secure world is a top priority. And maybe, Sparsh, you could tell us a little bit more why we have to build a society in which nationality or social statuses, they don't matter. And do they actually matter, like, to anyone? Do we want to live in a society where we divided on social classes and nationalities, really? And what is the opposite of that to you?
I definitely agree with what you said, because, one of the major issues is that we talk about living standards and how to improve them. What we often forget is the word living comes before standards. Everyone wants to increase their own living standards, but we don't care about if others are even living around us. We all are dying every day, and we need to stop dying. If not physically, then mentally. And the education system is just flopped up. If I want to take good quality education, I myself am a Cambridge student. I follow the UK-based curriculum, staying here in India. And it is so expensive to actually gain good quality education, which allows me to get international exposure. If I want to save money, I have to limit myself to what is there in India, which is completely unethical. Because, if we talk about countries, nations, I think we all are global citizens. We all are residents of this planet named Earth, and that is enough. Why do we call ourselves as, I am from this part, you are from that part, so we are different? No, we all are same. And of course, we have a diverse culture and we need to respect it, but it does not mean that we are different. And we know, if we talk about the solutions, first of all, there should be a proper communication and we need to spread what we feel. And it is not from the media pendulum, because they cover a problem and then they spread it so much that instead of spreading solution, they end up spreading the problem. And then there are more and more riots and protests, not aiming to solve anything. Also, a creative society, we are not, sitting in a luxurious office, a great tower in the New York City. No, we are from different places. We are remotely connected thanks to technology. And we are able to save huge amounts of money and funds, and also climate. Flying from one place to different place, it is not at all suitable, and it shouldn't be done until it is very, very, very necessary. Though some necessities compel us to do that, but I think there should be more alternatives that are carbon neutral. Same goes for food. We all are dependent, a lot of us are dependent on products from animal origin, which is, again, completely unethical. We want life to grow on this planet, not to kill them. Whether they are human, animals, any life, all lives matter. And especially talking about humans, yes, we are humans, we are people, and of course, we want to live. So let's focus on living first before increasing our standards.
Well, Sparsh, you totally touched on some topics like, why are we still not producing food with efficient way? We have technologies that allow us to grow meat from cells. Like, we don't even have to do this whole production cycle, which is so outdated. We have vertical farms which can eliminate the hunger problem on Earth, and we do not even know about it as a society. So, of course, we cannot create this demand request for it. And we're being threatened from mass media that we're witnessing the new wave of mass shortages when it comes to food. This just doesn't make any sense. So is, of course, pollution and our environmental problems, which are also not being solved despite all the money spent on it. And the question you also brought up, why do we, regular people, can connect without any funding from the outside through the internet, while those who we empower, they fly somewhere on our expense and just create more problems instead of solutions. I think it's time for all of us to take different approach to it. And maybe some last words and wishes from two of you, just short wishes to our viewers before we say bye for today. Branka, let me start with you.
Okay. Well, I would like to invite all the viewers, firstly, to watch the forum, definitely to watch the forum. And even if you have like a first thing like, oh, it's 11 hours, pick your subjects, pick the things you are interested in the most, and you can divide it into parts. And you have fragments, pieces of fragments every day released on all of the medias, and it's available to everyone. Pick your subject and inform yourself, and this is something, even if it's totally new information, it's not something you're dealing with generally, but this is eye-opener. This is not some fragments of some bits of information. This is totally researched. These are the facts that can help everyone not to be scared and to be in a sense like, oh, terrible things are happening. No, this is something, there are problems, these are the problems, and these are the ways to solve them. And that's creative society. So after you watch the forum, I invite you all to join creative society, in building creative society.
Thank you so much. And Sparsh, any last wishes from you for today?
Sure. As I said even last time, you are the hero. The problem is that you are not yet, a lot of people who are not joined the creative society, have not realized their true potential. We all are saying, yet we have a unique past. And, the one who is better in that particular skill, let us contribute for a better world. That's it.
So much.
Thank you.
Dear guests, yes, we would like to thank all of you for your time, for participating here with us in our conversation, and we really appreciate your time. This is truly valuable. And right now we would like to reach out to our viewers, and if you feel like you feel about these problems, if you would like to also put your input into solving them and to building a better future for yourself and your dear ones, for the whole humankind to contribute to it, please reach out to us. Spread this information on your social media. Go on creativesociety.com, press join us button, and take part in the next live conversation.
Dear guest, thank you so much for your participation, for your words that can truly empower all the people who will watch our today's discussion. Your contribution is truly valuable because we definitely need to do everything possible to spread this information out. And what can be better than just open our mouths and start to talk to people around us, to talk to people that maybe are right on a different continent like we're today, and share this idea, share the information about the solution to all our crises, to all our miserable situation, to all our problems in the world, which is a creative society. And I also would like to address all our viewers. If you watch the international forum and would like to be a participant at our next international discussion, such as this one, please contact us at info@creativesociety.com, and we will be more than happy to contact you and invite you to our next discussion. So, dear guests, dear viewers, thank you so much for being with us. See you next time.
Bye.